Asian Network.
She is styled like a Bollywood actress. Like, she's styled like Deepika Padukone in Bajirao Mastani, or all of those kind of roles.
I literally got, oh my gosh, I have to tell you a funny story. Do you know Nagada Sangol?
Yeah, of course, from Ramdila.
Yeah. So, like, I was like playing it, I was on set, and it was these, like, you know, I had like an American cast and crew, and so I'm playing it, and like, because I love that song so much,
yeah,
and literally someone was like, oh, it's so beautiful. Nay, is that you? And I was just like, yeah, no, it is. But I thought to myself, gosh, you could be compared to worse people than Deepika. I was like, well, I'll take that because she's pretty beautiful.
Was that a reference point at all? Was Bollywood a reference point at all?
I think so. I think that because naturally those things come together because of how colourful it is and because of the music element. But ultimately, there were so many different cultures that were drawn upon for this movie, whether it's to do with the costumes or the sets. But I love the fact that, yes, that kind of Bollywood, how things just burst out of the screen, I think, and that joyousness, I think that really comes through in our movie.
Every Asian girl I know dreams of being Princess Jasmine.
Of course.
Did you dream the same?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. I mean, Princess Jasmine was my favourite princess because of exactly what you just said. I saw myself in her, you know, I could relate to her, and I think you do. You take ownership over your princess, don't you?
It feels like this Princess Jasmine is even more empowered than the animated one. Is that because of criticism that Disney princesses have faced over the years? You know, there's a scene in Wreck-It Ralph 2 where all these Disney princesses are talking about how helpless they are.
It's so brilliant.
Do people assume all your problems got solved because a big strong man showed up?
Yes, what is up with that?
She is a princess. We're in 2019, and, you know, she is a princess. That is the context in which she lives. She actually is. She's royalty.
Yeah.
You know, and that comes with all the opulence. But really, it was just about humanizing her. It's not so much about, oh, she has to be strong and sassy and whatever. It's like, no, she wants to be the leader. You know, she has something to give. She's intelligent. She's a politician. She's studied. And I think that that's just so important for little girls to just see an active Disney heroine just moving her, pushing forward her own narrative.
It feels like actors of Egyptian heritage are having their moment in Hollywood right now. You're playing Aladdin. Rami Malek recently won an Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody. Does it feel like a long time coming?
I grew up watching a lot of Egyptian cinema, and we have some prolific Egyptian directors and musicians and actors. So there's a lot of talent in Egypt and the Middle East. So I think so. I think it's time that we start, viewing those kinds of artists in a positive light.
In fact, you said this is a really big moment for Middle Eastern casting as well. What did you mean by that?
It is. I don't think it's just Middle Eastern, but, you know, people of color and diverse ethnicities. Naomi's half Indian, and she represents, the huge country of India and Asia. And I just think that hopefully this film resonates with people, and Hollywood can, see that even if you do make a film with people of color as the leads, it can still be successful and it can still smash.
Do you think we're still closer to colorblind casting, though? Because, of course, the way you looked helped you be cast as Aladdin.
I think now we're more sensitive to that than ever. I think we're a little bit away from colorblind casting, but I think that's eventually the goal.
You've said that one of the key themes of this film for you is about finding yourself, finding your identity, and that's something you say you've struggled with in your own life.
Yeah, I think that's something that everyone goes through, and I don't think you ever stop going through that. But when I was a kid, I looked different from a lot of, my colleagues and students that I went to high school with, and I ate different food, and I spoke a different language, and I definitely felt like the outcast sometimes, and Aladdin definitely goes through that every day.
Asian Network.